Good morning. We are going to do a very different style video today, and let's just say I'm getting old and it's the morning, and give me a second to get ready. Okay, this is a little bit better. I'm not fully ready, but I'm also probably not going to leave the house today, so you're not going to get much more than this out of me. And so I've been thinking about a few things lately, and a lot of it has to do with my age and the fact that I know people that are the same age as me, that I went to school with, that are becoming doctors and nurses, having kids, getting married, doing all these things, and I'm kind of sitting here like, wait, am I supposed to be doing those things? But then at the same time, I have friends who still live with their parents, who still are going to school or still on a completely different path, and I'm kind of like, where do I fall in all of that? So I decided to write down some little stickies, and we're going to talk today about the balance between feeling behind and working too hard. Gonna be 25 Q&A. So I am going to be turning 25 next July. I just turned 24, and so that means I'm about to hit a milestone age. I consider, like the fives is the milestone, like 25, 30, 35, and I feel like those ones make you think a little bit more than the in-between birthdays. So I'm like, this is my last year before 25. So I wrote a few questions, and throughout the day, I figure we would just go through the questions and I'll rip them off as we go. Like, here's the first talking about what this video is about, so I'll rip that off and we'll get to the next one. And I have them in no particular order, but the first one is realizing I am old enough to have a bachelor's degree and I don't. And it's an interesting topic because I do have my computer behind me. I exited out of all of my things, but I am working this morning and I'm not doing anything with my associate's degree, and I don't have a bachelor's degree, but I do have an itch on my nose that I need to itch. And there's plenty of people that my age that do, because by 24 you can have, a bachelor's degree. You could have more than a bachelor's degree depending on how far ahead you were, but either way, I would have had a bachelor's degree by now if I stayed in college and didn't quit after my associates. And I decided, for me personally, it just wasn't worth it. All the career paths I wanted to go down, like every possible route I thought about, I didn't really need a bachelor's degree, and as it was, I kind of felt like I shouldn't have gotten my associates. I was young and I made a decision I probably shouldn't have, but it did get me to where I am in life now. But I think there's plenty of other people that are in that same position, that maybe went to college later and aren't done like other people are done, or some people that didn't go to college at all. And I feel like you just have to do what's right for you, and so many people do what's right for their parents or their guardians, or do what their friends are doing, and they don't reach deep in and figure out what's right for them. Because I feel like if I dive deep into myself, I wouldn't have even gotten my associate's degree. I would have went straight into the field. I would have gotten more licenses. I would have gotten more experience, and I wouldn't have gone to college. Not that I think it was a bad thing, and I did learn things, but I definitely don't think it was right for me. I just thought that was kind of what I was supposed to do, even though there's so many other routes. So for me, I think I'm where I'm supposed to be, maybe a little bit behind on getting licensings, but I don't know. I think I made the right decision not to get a bachelor's degree. Even though it sounds great on paper, I don't think it was right for me. And you kind of have to figure it out for yourself too. And let me get back to a little bit of work before we get into the next question. It has been a bit later, and I'm currently trying to get the most out of the sauce in this jar, so I put my pasta inside of the jar instead of getting a spatula, and I'm just getting it out of here. But either way, let's go on to the next question. So let me rip one off. I keep looking at the viewfinder. I'm sorry. Let me try to look at you guys better more. Such a bad habit. I just like to look at myself. Hello, myself. But either way, next question is, this is what I talked about at the beginning of the video. And I feel like this is one of the biggest triggers on why I decided to do this video. And it's, everyone is having babies or already does have kids. So it's hitting me more and more, as I have two friends that have babies on the way. One that's pregnant, one that their girl is pregnant. And it's just hitting me. I don't know why, it just definitely is. Some of them are older than me, and I have a friend who already has a kid, and just, I don't know. Just I don't know how to describe it, but it's just hitting me more than it used to, especially like as I scroll Facebook, which sounds so ridiculous. But people I used to go to high school with, which I moved from Connecticut to LA, so I'm not like, I don't see any of the people I went to high school with. I don't talk to them. Like, I don't have a relationship with people from that point in my life, but I'm still friends with them on Facebook. So occasionally I'll see these random like life updates, and I'm like, oh my god, this person's pregnant, this person's pregnant, this person just had a kid. What? That person already had a kid? And some of it's like a lot of people, oddly enough, from the grade before me, so like a year younger than me, so many of them are having kids. And I'm just like, should I be having a kid? Like, I'm not ready to have a kid. I have no interest in having a kid at this point in my life. Like, I want to have kids someday, but I do not want to have kids right now. And I'm like, I'm like, should I? So many people are so happy doing this, but then, no offense to anyone, I'm also well aware that a good amount of people my age or younger aren't per se having planned pregnancies. Like, yes, they are very happy and blessed to have a child, like to be pregnant, whatever it is, but it's not like they went into it like trying to get pregnant. And I think that's a little bit different. You know what I mean? If you apply for a job and you get the job, then that's different than just if someone offers you a job. And so it's like someone offered motherhood to them and they decided to continue and be a mother, but they didn't apply to be a mother. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. So I feel like that's like a little bit different. It makes me feel a little bit less like I'm not behind. And it's like, I do understand, like, as a woman especially, we do have a little bit of a time clock more than anybody else, but I'm only 24, gonna be 25. I still have plenty of time to have kids, and even then, a lot of people having kids at a way older age because life expectancy is higher, and also just in general, like, people have a lot of things they want to do when they're younger, and I don't even want the responsibility of a dog right now, let alone a child. Especially since I live in LA with roommates, which means I'd have to figure out a situation without roommates, because I'm not about to pop out a kid with roommates. And also, I need a man's, well, I don't need a man's, but that's the path I want to take, so I don't got a man's to put the babies in me. And I'm just going to keep blabbering if we don't just move on to the next question. So we do another question right now. Let me go sit in my chair. Let's go get the next question, because I think we have a few more questions. Let's see. Let me just peel the next one off. Let's sit in this chair right here and get to the next one. Okay, let's see. After that question is done, the next question is buying a house, not having roommates. Oh, I chose the perfect time to talk about this because I just mentioned the fact that, like, if I wanted to have a kid, obviously I'd be looking to probably buy a house or not have roommates. I might not be able to buy a house, but I at least would want to have a space to myself, like with my kid or my partner. And how do I feel about this? So a lot of people that I am aware that are my age, that are buying houses that I've known previously in my life, are people that are still on the East Coast, and housing situations are a lot different there than it is here. Like, even for me personally, I probably will not buy my first home in California, or I will not buy my first home like locally to where I am. I might buy in California, but further away from where I am now, because the housing market is just too crazy in my area that it's not realistic. Like, a lot of these places, I couldn't even rent them out for how much the mortgage costs. Like, the mortgage would cost more than if I had rented out the whole entire place to someone. Like, I couldn't even get the mortgage rate. So it's just like, you have to really be in a different place in life than I think I will be in a long time. Like, I could maybe get like a condo, but then you're looking at like a 1-bedroom condo where the HOA fees are more than I pay in rent right now. So it's just not logical for me. Like, yes, I would love to be able to buy a house right now. I'd love to be able to buy a house in my area. It's like, I might be at the point in my life where soon I can look at rental properties in other states or in other parts of California, and that's kind of exciting, but I am not at the point of being able to buy one here. And I just have to accept that when I see people on the East Coast or see older friends buying houses, that those houses, yes, if I had the prices of the houses that people are buying where like I grew up, I would probably buy a house. I would probably buy a house if I still lived in Connecticut. I probably would be in the place where I'd be okay with having like a mortgage payment instead of a rent payment, because there's less apartments there. But here it's more apartments, less houses. So either way, I don't know, that's kind of how I'm feeling on that one. And not having roommates. So I could be in the position where I don't have roommates. Not in the place I'm in now, because it's a huge apartment. Like, I wouldn't want to have this huge apartment by myself, and also I couldn't afford the rent of a huge apartment, but I could get a studio. If I really wanted to not have roommates, I could get a studio or a 1-bedroom. Maybe not in my ideal area, because it's still crazy expensive, but I could at least find something in a somewhat nearby neighborhood that wouldn't be a bad area, would probably have amenities, and I could afford it. but I actually like having roommates. I feel like I'm at the age where there's nothing wrong with having roommates for one at any age, but I'm also the age where it's more appropriate to have roommates. I also like having roommates because I work from home, so a lot of times I do not communicate with people all day, and so the only people I talk to during the day when it's not like a planned hangout is my roommates. And I'm friends with my roommates at most times. Like I have a rotation of roommates because usually they stay for a year and I've stayed longer. But I like it and I actually recommend it to people. Like I don't think you should like search out like your first apartment by yourself, or you should just in general want to have a place by yourself. I think you should want to have roommates and I think you should enjoy it. Well, not want to, like obviously everybody has their own preferences, but I definitely think there's a lot of benefits. I think you learn about a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about others, you learn a lot about how to co-live, because someday you're probably going to be living with a partner and this kind of gets you prepped for that in a different way. Like a soft intro into living with people. And so I don't know, I think it's beneficial and I enjoy it. Like yes, there are some aspects of it that would be nice to have a place by myself. Like there's some benefits to having a place alone. Ooh, remember, daily reminder, but either way, for the most part, I like having roommates. And my daily reminder happens every day at 2 o'clock. And basically the reminder is, what is it? Are you inventing things to do to stay busy, or are you actually being productive? Because sometimes I'll end up doing all these things that I don't really need to do. So it's kind of my daily reminder, like, hey, it's 2 o'clock, a good amount of the day is over. Oh my gosh. I need to get more done. A good amount of the day is over, and am I being productive? So that's my daily reminder, and I'll hit you back with the next question later today, probably after work. Work-life balance. Finding a work-life balance, and kind of ironically, I am filming this part of the video at the end of my day, and it's like 11:30 something, or I think it might be 12 by now. Normally I go to bed like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I end up before bed, I read in the candlelight, and I get ready for bed and just relax a little bit, get off my phone for a bit. I try not to go on my phone too much before bed, but either way, I don't think I'm at the point in my life of finding that much of a work-life balance. I am a workaholic. I love taking on multiple jobs and probably putting way too many time commitments, like commitments on things that take time. But I think that's kind of like one part of my personality. Two, I feel like that's part of like the age I'm at. Like this is the time to grind. Like yeah, it's a time to experience stuff, but it's also the time to probably put in many late nights and just go after what you want in life. And I want a different lifestyle. I want a lifestyle that's gonna take a lot of gosh darn work and a lot of innovation, and I enjoy what I do, so it's not like I'm spending long nights doing things I hate. I'm spending long nights doing things I enjoy doing, and a lot of times I spend extra hours than my day job because, you know, like a second job or doing YouTube or doing socials. And hopefully you guys can see me because I'm not even wearing my contacts, so I have no idea how much you can see right now in the candlelight. But either way, I think I have the perfect unbalanced work-life balance. I work way too much, but I also make sure I take days off or afternoons off or say yes to opportunities when they come around. I actually did a video not that long ago where I said yes to life for a month, and I'll link the video down below, but it was a cool idea of just saying yes to more things that I would normally say no to, trying to make sure I am finding that work-life balance, even though I do work way too much. I did the whole idea just saying yes more, and I'm trying to still continue to do that. Yes, I want to work a ton of hours, but I also want to say yes to more opportunities when they come around, and especially when things aren't planned, because I make time for stuff when it's planned. Like if you tell me a week from now, or 2 weeks from now, or at least a couple days, like I'll fit into my schedule. I will make it work. I will make time for something that is on the books. But stuff that's kind of like last minute opportunities, I don't always make time for them because like I just haven't fit them in my schedule, and I'm committed that time to something else already. But either way, I'm slowly learning to find that balance. It's more like I'm learning to do more life things and not just remembering just to do work things. I'm still gonna do the work things, but I need to do life things more. And again, I'm probably over blabbering on the answer to that last one, but that is the last one. And I hope you kind of look within yourself and ask you a few of those questions where you kind of wonder, like, am I behind in everybody else? Am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? And you kind of just look in on yourself and realize, what is it that you want? What is too much or too little for you? Don't compare it to other people or what stages they're at. Everybody's on their own path, but you should judge yourself based on what you want. So be critical with yourself sometimes. Be nice to yourself too, but sometimes you gotta be critical. You gotta be like, I gotta step my game up. I gotta stop doing all this stuff if I want this. Or, you know, if you really do need to give yourself a little pat on the back or help yourself, be like, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Remember that I am probably in a place that old me couldn't even imagine and like would wish for, because I know that's true for me. I know depressed high school me was like, California, my life will be different when I make it to California, when I escape, when I start fresh. And old me just wished every single night for that new start. And now I am living in California. I am so, so happy with life. And I very often, even when I work a ton of hours, I don't take on things I don't want to do. I do so many things that I enjoy, and I smile more than I cry, and I can't complain. So I'm excited to be almost turning 25, and I'm excited for the years to come. And random point, but I feel like I should just wrap up this video with this, is life also comes with its scaries along the way. And recently I actually got screened for cervical cancer because there was a chance that I had it, and it came back negative. And I just have to be grateful that I don't have cancer, and be grateful that, yes, I might not be married, I might not have kids, I might not have a bachelor's degree, I might not this, I might not that, but I am healthy, I am happy, and there is so, so many opportunities just a door away from the stage I'm at now. And I'm going to end the video here, and I would really, really appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. I'm trying to like point down, but I'm kind of like laying down. But either way, I will see you guys next Wednesday with another video helping you figure out adulting while I'm attempting to figure it out myself. Have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. I'll see you Wednesday.